Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Great to see your faces. Great to have you on tonight. Happy Tuesday. Happy beginning of November. A couple things for you to know. I know many of you that get on this Zoom on Tuesday nights or you listen to the callback also attend end of month live. You're also tuning into your news tab on your workstation or participating on the Facebook pages. So you are privy to the information that we're sharing, but it's a good reminder and a good recap. Just make sure everybody's brought up to speed. So, we have had some new club exclusives drop. And I wanted to touch on this really quickly because I don't know that everybody understands exactly how those club exclusives work. But if you have a club subscriber, when they log into your PWS into their account, they have access to a club subscriber section. So it doesn't necessarily, this is not meaning that they can add club exclusive items to their club. This means by being a club subscriber, they unlock access to items exclusively available for them to purchase in a separate PWS order. Okay. But anyway, there are new club exclusives, and there's some good ones that are available this month. Hosts can earn the Scentsy Air this month as a host promotion for only one half price item instead of two, which is awesome. That is a really good deal. And for those of us that use the Scentsy Air, loving it. It's awesome. It's a really great product. It's also a product not a lot of people know about, which is why it's used as a host exclusive item, because it isn't something people have seen before. Unless you've showed them or you've promoted it. But remember, it takes somebody seeing something about 7 or 8 times before they actually take notice and take interest in it. So even if you've promoted the Scentsy Air, maybe people haven't actually digested what it can do and how well it can scent a very large space. So share that product, share it as the host exclusive item and promotion for this month. And you never know, it may just get you somebody that wants to put together some orders and be able to earn that. Um, let's see. You guys are watching the chat, yes? Yeah, watch the chat. Okay. Let's see, what do we have coming this month? We have the sorting hat coming this month at some point. We currently have the collectible warmer available. Scentsy every year puts together a limited edition warmer, higher price point. It's numbered. There's only so many of them made. And this year they have released the Snow Globe on Trend warmer. It's available now, $125. 100 PRV. It cannot be used with host rewards, but if that is something that, why are you looking at me funny, Robin? Can't. I tested it just to make sure that I was correct in saying that. So I think that's why you're giving me that face.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm giving you the face because that's how I got mine.
How it did absolutely did not come up for me.
I'm gonna double check myself right now, but I'm pretty
Double
sure
check it because I tried it for credit and I tried it for half
I
price
say
and
something real quick? I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I seen in another group somebody said that they were able to, and it was a glitch and they fixed the problem.
Okay. So anybody that got it on the glitch, you lucked out. Congratulations. I did not get it on the glitch. I got it for full price. Uh, let's see.
I would
But
agree
yeah,
with that, Melissa, because I created the order. And when I created the order initially, I couldn't remember my credit card. I was able to put it in as a half price item. Later on in the day, when I went back in, it had been removed from my half price cart. So,
yeah. So that would make sense that there was a glitch because
mhm.
I did. The only thing I could get to come up for the Snow Wonderful Warmer was the dish. That's the
I
only
got
thing
one.
that you did. You got it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
lucky duck, you.
I applied my host credit towards it. So, woo,
That's awesome. Okay.
I'm a glitch.
Well, aside from the glitch, yes, it is not available for host rewards. So, um, and let's see. So that it is still currently in stock and available. It's not out of stock just yet. That Sugar Chalet bundle sold out quick, huh? That was a really good deal. The warmer in 3 bars. And I don't know if you've seen the 3 bars if you got them in, but the packaging is gorgeous with the gold foil and they look really, really pretty. Um, so uh something else just newsworthy is that Scentsy, so Scentsy has been a part of the Epcot Flower and Garden Show for the last 2 to 3 years. Well, that has now transitioned to Scentsy taking part in the Festival of the Holidays at Epcot. So we will be featured for 30 days in the Festival of the Holidays. There will be a very, very small product offering available on site for customers, people new to Scentsy to interact with the product. And of course, if they wanted to purchase those items that are on hand, and they're very limited, it's a very, very limited, like three different product categories and maybe only 5 products total. They will be able to purchase it there, but it will be at an inflated price. And to reorder, they will have to get it from a consultant or there's a barcode in the packaging that when they go to reorder, if they do not have a Scentsy consultant, it takes them to the Scentsy consultant locator to find a consultant close to them to build a relationship with and to get their future Scentsy products. It's good exposure. It's great for brand awareness because, believe it or not, 17, 18, 20 years later, people still do not know what Scentsy is. More than not, don't know what Scentsy is. And so it's very good for our brand strength and brand exposure. So we're happy about that. Putting this on your radar, but 2 months early, just keep in mind, and we'll be talking about this as the next 2 months go on, that Bring Back My Bar will be coming up after the first of the year. So just keeping that in mind, pay attention to what your customers purchase over this holiday season so that when the Bring Back My Bars are available, you are thinking about who might like what when those bars come out. Cheers to 20 years. Cheers to 20 years. Cheers for 20 years. The incentive this month is to purchase, but not you purchase, to sell 5 of the Scents of the Season bundles. So 20 bars total. 4 of them? No, am I wrong today? 4 of them. 20, that's right, 20 products. Sorry. Yes, I had 20 in my mind. 20 of those products. They can be in all 4 bundles, 4 different bundles, or it can be 20 of a mixture of those bars. So that is how you will satisfy that requirement. And there is a tracker that is floating around out there. Let's make sure that we get those 20. Make sure before the end of the month that you have secured those correct 20 cents from Scents of the Season before the end of the month. Just make sure, if you are on track and on target and that is your goal to earn this month, make sure that you check off that you have gotten 20 of those items. All right. I think that's a lot of the announcements. I did make a really quick comment about the sorting hat will be coming. I don't know if you saw the teaser that Scentsy posted on their page. I additionally shared it on Together We Scent, but there is a pink and green teaser that is out there. And I can only think of one thing that pink and green means anything about right now. And so stay tuned for that. I will stay tuned for that. So anything else, leaders, anything else that I'm forgetting to mention or anything else you find important that we should be mentioning, highlighting, or calling anybody's attention to? No, you think we're good? Okay. One other thing I am going to tell you, since you guys are on the call tonight, we're going to give you just a little heads up. Your leaders and I created a little roadmap for the next 6 calls of the season. So we only have 6 calls left through the end of the year, believe that or not. If that doesn't tell you how quick the holidays are coming and how fast the end of the year will be here, that did it for me. There's 6 calls left. So we will have them consecutively up until December 17th. December 17th will be our last call of the year, and we are putting together a fun year-end celebration type of Zoom. So stay tuned for details on that. It will be entirely fun and entirely a celebration. Some other little fun things to go along with that. We're building it out and it'll be a good time. But our last call of the year will be December 17th. Just to give you an idea of some of the topics coming up for our upcoming calls so that you kind of have it in your mind what we'll be talking about for the next couple of weeks through the month end. We will be talking and covering Black Friday specials, turkey trots, thankful turkeys, mystery bags. If some of those things mean nothing to you, that just means you have to tune into the call so you can find out what the heck they mean. We'll be talking about putting together a type of 12 days of Christmas promotion, and how you can run that for your customers. We'll be talking about, we'll be doing a little bit of conversation role playing where ways to talk about Scentsy when you have the opportunity and you're in the company of maybe a new potential customer, somebody brand new that you've met, or how situations typically get handled by some of our leaders that are very good speaking about Scentsy right off the cuff. So we'll be doing some role playing. You'll be able to observe. You can participate if you'd like to, but you won't be called on to participate. So don't shy away from the call because you think you're going to be called on to do some role playing. You aren't. You can observe without fear that you will be called on, but you are more than willing to participate, of course. We're going to be talking about how to work our businesses in December. There's also some features we want to share with you. Make sure that you're aware of some product or some website functionality that we want to call your attention to, how we package up orders, how we work after the shipping deadline, because the shipping deadline will cut off somewhere around December 15th, 16th, 17th, meaning you'll want your orders put in that you expect to receive by Christmas. So we call that the shipping deadline or the Christmas cutoff. So we'll be talking about how to work after the shipping deadline, how gift certificates can work for your business, and in getting people to think about buying themselves a business for Christmas. So lots of really great topics. Of course, we will come out of the chute in the beginning of January talking about how to set our businesses up for 2025 successfully and in a goal-setting manner. So that takes us through the year. A lot of really good information planned. And so thank you for tuning in with us and giving us the opportunity to train alongside of you. Tonight, we're talking about new contacts, new customers, why they're important to our businesses, why they're important to Scentsy as a whole, and why we need them. So just to give you a little bit of context around why this topic is important, Scentsy began as a party plan business because that model fit best when Scentsy was launched. It gave the opportunity for salespeople, us, consultants, to go into the homes of others, set up a Scentsy display, put testers underneath people's noses, give hosts an opportunity to invite their friends that we did not know. It introduced them to the product, it introduced them to you, it introduced them to Scentsy, and made them hopefully fall in love with the product and become Scentsy loyalists. That's how a lot of us have a customer base, is we met a lot of these customers right in the home party environment. Well, in the age of technology and cell phones and texting and then social media, and the growth of online, we've gotten away from the home party-based business model and more into a one-to-one selling model. Nothing wrong with that, except for that we aren't bringing people in the door in the droves that we were when we were meeting them in a home party environment. Because you have to remember, a host would introduce us to 2, 4, 6, 12 of her friends, neighbors, coworkers, and that opened the door for us to have a group of new customers all in one swoop. Well, unless you're doing events where you're out in the community meeting new people that you don't already do business with, it isn't as rapid that you are building a customer base of brand new customers. A lot of us, and I will raise my hand to this. You don't have to raise your hand. I'll raise my hand for us. A lot of us are able to sustain and maintain our businesses with a really solid customer base of customers that already exist to us. But the amount of new customers we're bringing in has really slid off a cliff, for lack of a better word. So what can we do to bring in new contacts and take care of them and make them contacts of ours? There are plenty of customers out there that no longer know where to buy Scentsy from. There's lots of customers out there that their consultants that they originally introduced them to Scentsy are no longer in the business and they don't know where to get Scentsy from. They don't realize that you live down the street from them. And maybe some of your customers haven't used Scentsy in a really long time because you've lost touch with them. I know I'm going through all of my party envelopes from the day that I started selling Scentsy and making contact again with people that I maybe haven't heard from in a really long time. My expectation of return responses isn't that high because so much time has passed. However, if one person comes back and tells me that they just didn't know where to buy it anymore, or they didn't realize I was still in business and they decide to place an order, it will be worth it. But how can we bring in new customers if we are not partying the way we used to? And that's why in my write-up for this Zoom tonight, the question was not how do we get new customers? It was more of a what are you willing to do to get new customers? How many conversations are you willing to have? How much are you willing to speak about Scentsy to people and let them know that that is something that you have to offer? What are you willing to do to put yourself out there to gain new customers? I'm gaining new customers. I wear Scentsy clothing everywhere that I go. But in the last 2.5 weeks, maybe, I've brought in 3 new customers, which is a lot less than if I just had a bunch of new customers on a Friday night meeting at somebody's house. So new customers are still coming through the door, but I'm not meeting them as rapidly as I used to. So how can we make contact with new customers? I'll tell you an idea that I had, but I want to give everybody or anybody an opportunity for this moment to tell us, think about your last brand new customer that came to you. Think about that for a minute. For some of you, you're newer to Scentsy, and so many of your customers that are coming to you are new customers to you or new customers to Scentsy. And that's okay. That's completely organic, right? Those of you that have been around for a while, think of where your last new customer came from. Jackie, where did your last new customer come from?
My last new customer came from a referral from a friend. I sold her the pumpkin warmer, like the sparkle one. And her friend came to her house, and that's how I got my last one. And then the one before that was Customer Locator or Scentsy.com. And he lives like 3 streets over from me.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who else wants to share where their last new customer came from? Holly.
So my last new customer was actually a referral. One of my friends had mentioned me in one of her comments on her post. I commented back, I'll message you. So I sent her a friend request. I messaged her. I didn't hear from her for a couple of days, and then she messaged me and asked me if I was willing to drive to Medora, which is only about 45 minutes away from me. And I'm like, yeah, I'll drive. So I drove to Medora Bank, and I actually end up selling over $100 worth of product that I took down there with me that day. I left some books and catalogs. I set her up with a link. She did all the work herself. Her party was like almost a $500 party, and she actually signed up underneath me today. She was a customer in the past, so she got reinstated, but she actually got it to where she is under me now. So, yeah.
That is awesome. And that is one of those cases where you hope exactly that is like the what's the word I'm looking for? How you would hope it would happen, right? New contact to you, take care
Yeah.
of them. They do a party. She ended up reinstating under you. It's awesome.
Which,
Thank you for sharing,
which
Holly.
she had told me that she had a friend that she closed her party out, and she's like, well, my friend wants to do a party. And I said, look, you did such a great job. How do you feel about signing up? I said, you could have her party and you can get all the benefits from that. And she said, okay. So
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Obviously, events. Events was dropped in the chat. Events are an excellent way to get Scentsy in your name in front of new people. Anna dropped in the chat fundraisers. You know that we've talked a lot about fundraisers this season, but that is one of the benefits of them as well, is that typically fundraisers are pretty much all brand new customers to you. Because the net on a fundraiser is cast so wide outside of your own circle. In a lot of cases, not all the cases. And it doesn't mean that every single person that purchases from a fundraiser becomes your customer. It's up to you to build that relationship, make contact with those people. Remember, and Anna will back me up on this, a lot of the reason why you do fundraisers is to meet those people. It isn't just to do the fundraiser so you can put in PRV and give away your money. That isn't the purpose. The purpose is a fundraiser casts your net out pretty wide. And so it's very important to follow up with fundraiser contacts to establish that relationship. Consultant locator, another referral. Yes, consultant locator is the same as Laura, I missed what she said. Consultant finder, consultant locator, it's all the same thing. PWS. PWS because people are going to Google typing in Scentsy, or they're going to Scentsy.com and using the locator and typing in their zip code. Facebook party from another customer who I met from another customer from a long time customer who I asked if she would do a party. They kept booking off of each other since spring until now. Wore a Scentsy shirt to an appointment. She called and asked for a catalog. I dropped off 5 with some testers. They had a party. Goodie bags at a shop. Currently working on goodie bags for a shop I have a basket at. What about a personal referral program? Packets, lots of packets. Personal referral program is great. And in fact, it really is an excellent opportunity for every single consultant. It is, probably the easiest direction to tell you to go to gain new contacts is by taking your existing warm circle of customers and asking them who in their life might like Scentsy, or who, what was I going to say? I had 2 thoughts going at once, because here was my thought with regards to referrals. Reaching out one-to-one with a current customer and saying, do you know anybody else in your life that uses Scentsy that doesn't already get it from me? Or, do you know if any of your coworkers use Scentsy? Do you know if any of your friends use Scentsy? And you are asking them for anything other than being able to fact find in the beginning. And you are able to say to them, I am really looking to expand my business now that I'm fill in the blank. Now that I have been with Scentsy for 6 months, now that I am, I feel really established with my current customers, or I feel like my business is in a place where I would like to meet more people, whatever the case is. But saying to your current customers, would you ask if there's anybody that uses Scentsy and doesn't know where to get it from? because those conversations can go in so many different directions that it may lead you down the path of sending testers and order forms and catalogs in to work with them. It may lead you down the path of that person putting somebody else in contact with you. Because here's the thing, we can't fall to the assumption that our customers will directly refer somebody if they aren't directly asked if they know someone who sells. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? We have to plant the seed, Jack. I see you. We have to plant that seed of asking them for what we want. And yes, a referral program in this instance would be great because you are able to say to them, I take care of my customers that refer their friends and family and coworkers and neighbors to me, because the greatest compliment in the world is a referral. You wouldn't refer me if you didn't have confidence in me taking care of your friends or your family or fill in the blank. Jack, what are you going to say?
I was also going to say that kind of works towards getting new consultants to sign up under you, because Trish, part of how I got her like through YouTube is I said, well, if you don't want to, do you know anybody that does? And I also got somebody else on my team that way as well, because it kind of plants the seed. It's not shady, but it's like, well, if you don't want to do it, I have a free kit or whatever, you know, somebody else that could benefit from it. And then it kind of makes them think, wait, I can do that too. Or, you know, and Trish has been with me for over a year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just from that conversation, just saying and asking for those referrals.
Yep. In doing that, it's also it how do I want to word this? That's a very good way to ask your customers that have teenage or near adult children. Like, maybe you don't want to, but do you think that Jessie might be interested in, Jessie being the daughter, do you think Jessie might be interested in some extra spending money? We could, if they're under the age of 18, maybe that customer might be interested in having the account, but allowing their daughter to get experience running her own business. And it doesn't have to just be her, right? Because we have Maddox. He's in that situation, right, Jack? I'm not calling him out unnecessarily.
Nope. He's a minor under his mom. And
Yes.
that's how we had Jackson Martinez 4 years ago.
Yep.
Same thing. Their mom and them run it together.
And potentially that is a really good demographic right now for join opportunities, is kids that are on the brink, 16, 17, even 18 years old, where it is a foundational, here's how you could learn to run a business. There's not a lot of risk in starting a Scentsy business. There's no overhead. They don't have to keep track of sales tax remitting to the state and all of this craziness. Scentsy takes care of a lot of that for them. They don't have to learn how to build a website. They don't have to learn how to do inventory management and shipping management, but it gives them tools and a foundation where they're able to work from their phones. Isn't that the ideal for that demographic, is being able to do something where they can work from their phones? But you wouldn't know about that situation if you're not having a conversation with your current customers and asking if Jessie might be interested, or asking, if their neighbor or coworkers or whoever uses Scentsy. Do you know anybody else that uses Scentsy in your life? Do you know anybody else? Asking that question is no harm. Let me catch up on the chat and see what else you guys are
Can I
saying.
ask a question?
Yeah.
I had no idea that this was this thing. So you're basically signing up the parent? Or are you, or is it something that Scentsy does and you sign up the kid,
You're signing up the parent.
signing up the parent?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
like, is this one of those
Signing
things
up
that
the
people,
parent, and then the parent has the ability to transfer the account to their child when they turn 18.
oh, cool.
Yep.
That
So
I did not know.
it's essentially, I mean, you could even go as far as saying, buy your daughter a business for Christmas. Buy your son a business for Christmas. Because when they turn 18, yes, exactly like Anna said, the parent can transfer the account to the child. They're now of age.
This is one of those things like a seeding kit that a lot of people don't know about.
Yep.
Like
What is a seeding kit, Patty Wonder? I'm sure there's plenty of people on this call that don't even know what you're talking about.
well, I've used them a couple times. A seeding kit, if you have somebody in another country, another region, whatever, and you want them to get to know Scentsy. Obviously, they can't buy product from you, but they could join. So if you want to invest in that idea, you can contact consultant support. But in my experience in helping people, you just want to ask for management because otherwise regular consultant support has no idea what the hell it is. And you basically say, I'd like to send a seeding kit to, the last one I did was Mexico. So I'd like to send a seeding kit to Mexico. This is the warmer. You have to use that catalog of what's available in Mexico. Pick a warmer, pick a bar, and then they'll send that catalog of that country and the warmer and bar that you pick to this person. You don't get PRV for it, and Scentsy sends it. So and you pay what it would cost it in whatever country you're paying. Yes, correct. I guess I was going, you pick it out of their catalog,
Mhm.
you paid their money, and Scentsy sorts it for you so that they have something that they can use, look at, read in their language, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So that's a very good tool if you have a prospect outside of your region, especially in regions where, the language is different or the voltage or outlets are different. But that
And
is
the
an
dollar,
opportunity.
like see pounds versus
Yep.
or euros versus, yeah, dollars.
Um, it's thinking this way outside of the box a little bit, but using your customers in front of you to help you grow your new contacts. Because remember, the whole premise behind this is because we aren't having parties the way that we used to. We aren't partying and bringing new people through the door as fast as we are not keeping contact with them and they are leaving. New customers are the lifeblood of Scentsy keeping their doors open. But flat bottom line, new customers. Because we don't want to get into a situation where the only customers of Scentsy are their consultants. Right? Because that doesn't help us keep our doors open, though us consultants are excellent customers because we're addicted and obsessed, and we're the ones that typically crash the internet on the flash sales because the deals are so good. We are legitimate customers and consumers of this Scentsy business. That's why many of us do this business, is because we're so obsessed. That is one of the main reasons I still love being a Scentsy consultant, is I don't have to order from somebody else when I want to change the wax in my warmers. However, we need new customers. Need them. We need them. We need them if we don't want to be the next 31 gifts. And I say that in a very kid glove, very respectful way. I say that in a respectful way to our friends that are 31 consultants, but I also want you to understand the importance of us bringing new people in. Because we love our Scentsy businesses and we love our Scentsy product. And I hope I never have to buy a different fragrance system ever from another company in my life. So what are you willing to do to bring new customers in the door, and not just bring them in the door, but make them a part of your workstation contacts? Let me tell you something. Did you know that, let's just say I'm going to use Cassie as my example. Cassie is a brand new customer to me. Okay. She orders from me one time. I put her information, name, phone number, email address at minimum into my workstation, and I place her order for her. Cassie gets her order, and about 3 months from now, she's out. And she threw the packaging away that had my label on it. She doesn't know how to get in touch with me to reorder. So Cassie Googles Scentsy, and Scentsy.com comes up, and she goes to the consultant locator, and she places an order online. But because Cassie's information of her last purchase was tied to me as the consultant, it is going to link Cassie's sale to me as her consultant. That would not happen if Cassie's information was not somewhere in the Scentsy system tied to me. So it is very, very, very important. And I do believe the key indicator there is the email address. That is what links consultants and customers, is the email address. You want your customers' email address and information in your contacts tab so that if they ever go try to shop from Scentsy.com, it will say, hey, the last time you purchased from Melissa. And it will link again, but not if I don't have Cassie's information in the workstation. So our goal is to make new customer contacts. Our goal is to build our own customer base. And our goal is to put their information into the workstation so that we have access and they have access to being linked to us in the future. Most of all, our goal in adding new customers is so that Scentsy can continue to provide us with the industry-leading, family-friendly business opportunity and the best, most quality fragrance products, I believe, on the market. But the question really is, what are you willing to do? Because if you are only willing to complacently sit back and let people come to you and take their orders when they come to you, and you post and you wait for somebody to place an order, you are not going to get the results of a growing business, especially going into the new year. You want to make contact with people and get Scentsy in as many hands as you possibly can right now so that after the first of the year, you have customers to follow up with for reorders to kick off your first of your year. Orville says 60% of customers order once and never again, so follow up. And here's the thing with that. That number gets skewed just a smidge because if Cassie was my new, I'm going back to this example. If Cassie was my customer and I did put her information into the workstation and she ordered from me, and then the next time Cassie came to me to order, she just wanted a 6-pack of cider mill bars. And I just happened to have 6 cider mill bars on hand because it's my favorite and it's in my club. And I fulfilled Cassie's order of those 6 cider mill bars and didn't put it through the workstation. Scentsy has absolutely no record that Cassie purchased again. Now, in the reorder situation, the way that I should reorder in that case is that in an order going in, I pull Cassie's cart into my workstation and I put those 6 cider mill bars under Cassie's name to reorder, even though those 6 bars of cider mill are replenishing my own personal club. What not to do is to put those 6 bars of cider mill under my own name in my consultant cart that gives no tie back to Cassie whatsoever that was a purchase that she made. See, you have to remember, Scentsy's data that they have to analyze is only as good as the consultant input. which is a really important piece because how you input your orders into the workstation gives you a great bring back my bar report or a trash bring back my bar report. Just like it gives Scentsy great numbers or trash numbers based on how we are inputting information. The better and more organized you keep your customers and the products that they order, and for tracking purposes, because now the contacts tab is so robust on our workstation that you have the ability to pull up a customer and it will show their purchase history. But if their purchase history isn't good, what good is the purchase history? Okay. We are at the top of the time. I am going to draw 2 names tonight because though Rand couldn't be on tonight, she did tell me to draw 2 names. So give me just a second. 10 people, 10 new contacts that can become customers. What do you guys think of that? What do you think? Do you think we could get 10 new customers, 10 new contacts in the month of November? Yeah? I think for our last call of November, if you come to that call and you successfully have 10 new customers, brand new to you, that made a purchase, make a purchase, or just 10 new customers, they need to make a purchase. I think we'll do something really special. That way you leave this call tonight with an action item and a goal to work toward, on top of your cheers for 20 years, selling 20 of the scents of the season. But let's really make it our focus this November to add 10 new customers, because there's 29 of us on this call tonight. And if 29 of us added 10 new customers this month, that's 290 new customers introduced to Scentsy that are making a purchase that we wouldn't have otherwise had. I think we can do it. I know we can do it, but the question really is, what are you willing to do? Okay. Anything from the highlights of the chat, Anna, that's worth shouting out before we let everybody go? Okay. All right. So we have for our winners tonight, we have Christina McGregor and that's a leader. Katrina. Katrina, did you just win? You did? Wait, I can't hear you.
I said, yeah, I just won like 2 weeks ago. You got to pick someone else.
Oh, you're sweet for letting me pay it forward. Okay. All right. That's a leader. So hold on. I'm doing it because obviously I was talking. I didn't put names in a hat, but I'm picking. Laura. Laura H.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes,
All right.
thank you. What do we do? Because it's been a really long time since I've won one of those.
You are going to send your shipping address to Andrea Hatch via Facebook Messenger.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Yep. Laura and Christina, send Andrea Hatch, Andrea Von Dorp Hatch, your shipping address and let her know that you won via Facebook Messenger. You guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. I think it was a great conversation. At least I think it was. But I think it was great to call our attention to something we really need to hone in on and focus on if we want to continue to grow and if we want Scentsy to continue to grow as well. I appreciate all of you. Happy Tuesday. See those of you that are able on Cubicle tomorrow.